Hey Jen, move your chair back a little to make room for the table. Oh, won't you come away with me? We'll build ourselves a small city. How very happy we will be on our magic mountain. On our lovely mountain. On our crazy mountain by the sea. So I started to look for a mountain by the sea, and I discovered Dominica Island, which is a mountain by the sea. Aldous Huxley, whom I wrote to, said it was the most beautiful island that he had ever visited. And genius knocks me out. Well, we'll have to see if we got the combination that could prevent the unthinkable, prevent World War III from being lost. And
oh, 81st one. Good. Okay.
How I broke my hip?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
you broke your leg too, right?
yeah. Well, we got a phone call from Kay, one of my girlfriends, and they came over and they took her to the emergency room at Kaiser, hanging out with Brad at the time. So I said to Brad, well, if you want to join me, let's get a cab and go over and see if we can be helpful. So we got a cab, and we went over. The cab driver said to me, you want me to pull around and pull up in front of the hospital? And I said, no, you can park here, I'll walk across. So I walked across with it. There was this tall curb about 8 inches. And I didn't think twice about it, but when I stepped on the curb, I lost my balance, and I was falling, and I fell and broke my leg, and there it was, hanging limply. So,
all in the name of love, huh, Judd?
what's that?
All in the name of love?
Yeah.
That's been a big issue for you, right? Love?
Love is, I like being in love. I think it's wonderful. I think it's a big advantage over marriage.
What happened when you had a talk with Allen Ginsberg, your old neighbor in New York?
Right. I rented this place on Suffolk Street, a store for $65 a month. We called it Something Magical. And then my friend Dow introduced me to Alan and Peter Orlovsky, his lover. And Alan wrote a book about me. It's I've got a copy of it. You'll have to see it.
What's it called?
Well, that's the story I'm about to tell you. They would come on Tuesday night. I built a stage there. It had a kitchen. I was able to pay the rent and buy necks and backs, chicken necks and backs, 10 cents a pound. We always had a big pot in the kitchen with chicken soup and necks and backs. And we had 15 people living there in the store. That's where Terry's mother, Joyce, she picked up Dow and then he dropped her. And one day she just jumped into bed with me and gave me a big kiss on the mouth. And I liked it, I was comfortable with it. So she decided she would become my woman. And we had 2 children together. She also wanted to get married in a Buddhist church down in Chinatown. So anyway, one thing leads to who jumps out of a comic strip and who leads the world into heaven on earth, designing heaven on earth.
And what's her name?
Sister Charista. And Charista is the word that introduces. That's the word we've been working on, is Sister K. Anyway, I'm a sadhu of Sister K. But it's all in that book. You'll be able to get a sense of how we can bridge the gap. But you know, the gap between the ultra-rich and the ultra-poor keeps getting wider. So we have to reverse that. And that's our job, is to do it. So I don't know if you got Allen Ginsberg, and there was this guy called Abel, and we built a stage, and Alan and Peter Orlovsky came on Tuesday night. We called it the Tuesday Energy Center. So one day I was sitting on the couch, and Alan came over and sat down next to me and put his arm around my shoulder and said, "Hey Judd, I want to tell you something." I said, "What's that, Alan?" He said, "Charista is the only thing that's happened." That's Allen Ginsberg, who's not alive now. I'm one of the old timers that's still around. But isn't that something?